Imagine an Excel that transforms complex data tasks into simple, natural language interactions. An Excel that acts as an intuitive assistant to streamline your workflow. Welcome to the revolution of Copilot for Excel. In our fast-paced workplace, staying ahead means embracing the power of AI. By mastering Copilot for Excel, you won't just save countless hours on tedious manual work, you'll also unlock a realm of advanced data analysis capabilities, setting you apart in the competitive business environment. I'm George Mount, a Microsoft Excel MVP, and I'll be your guide through this journey. My course is designed to empower you to tackle intricate data challenges effortlessly, boosting your problem-solving skills and efficiency in ways you never imagined. So why wait? The journey begins now. There exists a prevalent myth that artificial intelligence, or AI, is akin to magic, all-powerful and requiring no skill to wield. This is far from the truth. To fully leverage AI, such as Copilot in Excel, a solid grasp of Excel's core functionality is not just helpful, it's imperative. Before embarking on your Copilot journey with this course, it's essential to master what I consider the rites of passage for Excel proficiency. This includes lookup functions like VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, as well as analysis capabilities like pivot tables. A fundamental understanding of how to manually prepare and analyze data in Excel is also crucial before you can expect AI to effectively augment these tasks. Specifically, hands-on experience with Excel tables is highly beneficial as Copilot utilizes them extensively. You should be familiar with creating and formatting tables, using foundational operations on them such as sorting and filtering, and understanding structured references for data analysis and manipulation. A grasp of AI concepts, including natural language querying and machine learning basics, can also refine your interaction with Copilot. Familiarizing yourself with how algorithms process information and learn from examples can enhance your use. This does not require advanced mathematics. An intuitive understanding is enough, which you can acquire through practical learning. There are plenty of resources available for non-experts to gain this foundational knowledge, including my own LinkedIn Learning course on AI-powered Excel and Michael McDonald's AI in Business Essential Training. Copilot is designed to amplify your productivity in Excel by collaborating with your existing skill set. The blend of AI assistance with your human insight can transform how you work. But to make the most of this technology, your Excel and AI basics must be solid first. Remember, AI performs optimally when it complements human intelligence rather than replaces it. Copilot in Excel unlocks a world of opportunities, especially if you're new to Excel. Here's the catch though. To fully leverage Copilot, you need to use Excel tables and structured references, which use table names and column headers instead of traditional cell addresses. Many enthusiasts eager to dive into Copilot often haven't used Excel tables before, so this video will guide you through them, ensuring you feel confident using tables alongside Copilot. We'll use an exercise file named Working with Excel Tables for this demo, which includes a neat data set of book sales. Although it looks organized, we can enhance it by converting it into a table. To do this, select any cell within the dataset, navigate to Insert Table, or use the keyboard shortcuts Ctrl-T or Ctrl-L. A Create Table dialog will appear, asking you to confirm the data range and whether your data has headers. Confirm these details and click OK. Immediately, you'll notice aesthetic upgrades like banded rows, simple yet effective improvements. But here's the key. Table data requires a different analysis approach than usual. In tables, Excel doesn't use the standard cell references like A1 through B22. Instead, it references table names and specific rows or columns. This makes it crucial to have clear, understandable names for your columns and table. Usually, your first table is automatically named Table 1, which isn't very descriptive. So let's change it to something more meaningful like book_sales. The table name should be a single word without spaces or dashes. With a descriptive name, referencing becomes clear and more intuitive. Next, let's create some formulas using this table. You'll notice that formulas in tables look and function differently than those in regular cells. Let's add a calculated column first. Suppose we want to calculate total sales by multiplying quantity sold by price per unit. First, name the new column as sales in cell F1. As you enter this, Excel automatically extends the table format to this new column. For the calculation, instead of using cell references like D1 times E1, use structured references for better performance. To do this, use the left arrow key to navigate to the appropriate columns in the same row. Columns are referred to by their names with the @ symbol indicating the current row. Now, what if we want to aggregate the data for the entire table? Instead of single cell references, the notation will change. For example, if you total up the sales column using either your mouse or keyboard, you'll start with basic references, but then we'll see the table and column names appear once completed. So, familiarize yourself with these table notations independently before integrating Copilot. This foundational knowledge allows you to fine-tune and audit Copilot's outputs more effectively. I encourage you to start organizing your data into tables now, not only for their aesthetic appeal, but also for their compatibility with advanced tools like Copilot. While designed to be a straightforward, user-friendly tool, setting up Copilot requires a bit more than merely opening Excel. Let's explore the setup process in this video. The exercise file for this demonstration is titled 0101 Getting Data to Copilot. I have a basic data set here that contains information about the 5 boroughs of New York City, and I'd like to test drive Copilot using this data. First, I'll navigate to the Home section on the ribbon. Toward the right, I notice the Copilot icon. However, it's currently grayed out, and I'd like to discover why. If you encounter this issue, consider the following guidelines. First, ensure your data is stored in a table. Tables are versatile tools, and while it's beneficial to understand their intricacies, for now, simply click inside the dataset and press Ctrl-T for Windows, Command-T for Mac. Click OK, and the data is now stored as a table. When I return to the Home tab, I can see that this approach wasn't effective. The icon is still gray. So let's navigate to File, Save As, and verify the file's format and storage location. It should be saved either as an XLSX or XLSM file and stored on either OneDrive or SharePoint. Both conditions are satisfied in this case, so that's not the underlying problem either. What else could be causing this issue? Well, Copilot requires an active internet connection, so make sure you have that as well, and I do. Another aspect to verify is that autosave for your workbook is activated. Let's switch it on for this workbook, and there we have it. The Copilot icon is illuminated and ready for use. We'll delve deeper into the subsequent steps of getting started in the following video. If you're still experiencing difficulties with activating Copilot in Excel, consider closing all active sessions and reopening your workbook. As you familiarize yourself with the process, starting a successful Copilot session will become second nature. It's likely that over time, the steps will be better documented and more user-friendly. Until then, keep this troubleshooting guide handy and you'll be proficient with Copilot in no time. In the previous video, you successfully set up a dataset to use with Copilot in Excel. Now let's explore Copilot's features. The exercise file for this tutorial is 0102 Copilot Tour. We'll again be using the New York City population dataset. First, if your Copilot icon is grayed out, once again ensure that your data is saved as a table in either OneDrive or SharePoint. Make sure autosave is enabled, then navigate back to Home and select Copilot. On the right side, you'll notice Copilot in a docked pop-up menu. Upon accessing the menu, you'll encounter various options. You'll observe that Copilot categorizes its functionalities into 4 primary sections: Add Formula Columns, Highlight, sort and filter, and analyze. Selecting these options prompts Copilot to address questions related to that specific use case. We'll use these menus throughout the course. These options aren't exclusive to our current location, though. Click on the star icon at the bottom of the menu, and you'll rediscover them, accompanied by a fifth, "How can Copilot help?" Clicking on it will generate a prompt in the chat, inquiring about Copilot's assistance and providing an example link. This link redirects you to Microsoft's official page introducing Copilot for Excel. Given the rapid evolution of this product, bookmarking this page for future reference might be a good idea. Now let's experiment with some of Microsoft's recommended prompts for Copilot. Examples include show data insights, show suggestions for formula columns, and how can I highlight, filter, and sort data. I'll select the first option, show data insights, and Copilot responds. Now here I receive a histogram showing the frequencies of population. I will add this to the sheet. And if you see something different than this, don't be alarmed. This is just part of how Copilot works. You may get different results each time you prompt Copilot. This is where your guidance becomes crucial, helping Copilot deliver more useful results. We'll build on this skill throughout the course. For now, simply click Go Back to Table to return to the data source and continue using Copilot's default settings. Copilot's power lies in its interactive nature, which encourages you to refine prompts for increasingly precise results. For example, here, Copilot suggests finding a percentage of total population for each borough. Again, if you see something different, don't hesitate to follow along with what Copilot gives you and use your best judgment. I'll click here. And it looks like Copilot suggests we add a column to this table, which is a skill we will address later in the course. As we delve deeper into Copilot and its various features, you might notice that the suggestions and results Copilot offers you differ from those in these tutorials. This is not a bug, but rather a feature of Copilot. Being an AI tool, Copilot heavily relies on probability in its operations, leading to variations in its behavior. Expect the unexpected and be ready to improvise. Your ability to adapt while using Copilot in this course will greatly enhance your readiness for real-world applications. Excel tables offer a wealth of benefits, not the least of which is their aesthetic appeal. With a couple of clicks, you can transform your dataset into a beautifully formatted table, complete with banded rows, filter buttons, and more. Copilot elevates this experience, making it incredibly easy to alter your table's appearance once created. To follow along, open the exercise file named 0103 Table Formatting, where you'll find the NYC Boroughs table we've been using. You can also go ahead and open Copilot. The first thing that stands out about this table is that the population column lacks a comma as a thousand separator, making it challenging to read. I'll fix this by asking Copilot to format the population column with a thousands comma separator, no decimals. Hit enter or click the message icon to send. And now this column is much easier to read. Let's see what else we can tweak. Given that this is New York City data, I'll format the text using the Broadway font. While I wouldn't typically recommend this font for data display, it's okay to have a little fun with fonts while learning. Generally, a simpler sans serif font like Sego UI or Roboto works best for clear, readable tables. For now, I can undo this change for readability with Ctrl-Z or click Undo in Copilot. Next, I'll make some changes to the appearance of the table's headers and footers. While filter buttons are useful, they can be obtrusive, so I'll request Copilot to remove them, and presto, they disappear. By default, Excel tables don't include totals. However, adding them in with Copilot is straightforward. When a total does get incorporated into an Excel table, it starts by summing up the last column. Unfortunately, Copilot isn't proving to be especially helpful in modifying the total row at the moment. The most effective method remains utilizing the drop-down menu available in each total cell. There are numerous other formatting options you might consider, such as changing colors, adding borders, and more. While Copilot excels in some of these areas, others might require manual intervention. For experienced Excel users, these tips might seem basic. You probably already know how to apply formatting changes using keyboard shortcuts or menu options, which might even be quicker than using Copilot. However, the real beauty of Copilot lies in its ability to intuitively understand and execute your commands, regardless of their complexity. The idea is to simplify your workflow by merely typing out your requirements. Starting with formatting might seem elementary, but considering its significance in data analysis, it's an excellent place to start. Let's explore how Copilot in Excel is more versatile than you might think. It's not just for your typical Excel chores like formatting or basic calculations. Nope, Copilot can actually assist with tasks outside the usual Excel grid. Before delving into this topic, let's consider why Copilot is capable of handling subjects beyond Excel in the first place. The reason lies in the extensive training the models that Copilot is built on underwent on a vast corpus of text data far exceeding Excel specific content. And unlike some other generative AI programs, Copilot incorporates robust security measures to ensure that your data remains secure within your organization. To see this in action, open the Use Copilot Non-Excel Tasks workbook. To get started, we'll load our table into Copilot, but here is the kicker. We don't actually have to stick to typical Excel tasks here. You can use it for fact finding too. For instance, let's say you're planning a Jazz Age book promotion and need to confirm novelist F. Scott Fitzgerald's birthdate. Ask Copilot, and voila, you've got your answer without even leaving Excel. To continue with this, you can ask Copilot anything you'd ask a more general AI tool. Want to know about the population of Long Island, New York in the 1920s when Fitzgerald's Great Gatsby was set? Go ahead and ask. You might not get a perfect answer, but it's a great starting point for further exploration. Copilot can help with basic tasks involving text as well. Need to proofread an email update on your sales report? Copilot's got your back right from within Excel. No need to switch to your email client. And get this, Copilot can even summarize text data, not just numbers. Let's say you need a summary of some bookstore reviews. Copilot can handle that too. Now remember, Copilot in Excel is primarily for Excel tasks. If you need more general AI assistance, there are better platforms out there, namely Microsoft Copilot. But for those of us deep in Excel every day looking for quick help with contextualizing data or managing emails and reports, this little Copilot hack can be incredibly helpful. Now that we've begun exploring Copilot together, it's time for you to try it out on a data set for yourself. The task at hand involves the exercise file named 0104 Chapter 1 Challenge, which contains a typical sales data set with columns like the date of sale, price, and quantity. Your mission is to navigate some initial steps with this data set. Start by preparing the data for use in Copilot. You can follow the instructions provided in the Getting Your Data into Copilot video for reference. Once you have the data in place, focus on improving the table's formatting. To address the issue of dates appearing as serial numbers in Excel, you should reformat the date column to display dates in the month, day, year format. Next, address the formatting of the price and sales columns by setting them to currency. You may need to format each column individually within Copilot. You may also remember that every table comes with an optional footer row that can be turned on. Go ahead and do that so we can easily see total sales. Finally, adjust the table's font size to 30 to enhance readability. Proceed with these steps in Copilot and feel free to explore additional features that may benefit the dataset's appearance. I'll meet you in the next video to go over the results. I hope you enjoyed taking your first independent steps with Copilot. Now it's time to reconvene and review your solutions by comparing them with mine, which you'll find in the exercise file named 0105 Chapter 1 Solution. To begin, ensure all the necessary steps for using Copilot are in place. In my example, I've saved the file to OneDrive and converted the data into a table. However, I missed one crucial step, turning on autosave. Once that's done, we'll be ready to utilize Copilot effectively. My first task is to refine the date column. I will instruct Copilot to convert the formatting to month, day, year, making the data much easier to read. Although the situation with the price and sales columns isn't as critical, formatting them as currency is still a wise move. I'll have Copilot format these columns to display currency, managing to format both simultaneously. Following that, I'll direct Copilot to append a total to our table. By default, it will add a sum to the bottom of the last column, which fortunately is our sales column, precisely what we want. Finally, I will request Copilot to enlarge the font size to 30 for the table data. Currently, this change will not affect the headers or total rows, but feel free to adjust those manually in the Excel editor as you see fit. This formatting feature is not only a sleek and considerable time saver for those who are not well versed in Excel's shortcuts and menu navigation, it also represents just the beginning. Copilot boasts an array of functionalities, which we will delve into in more detail in the next chapter. Formulas and functions are at the heart of Excel, and if you thought that AI would keep you from ever needing to write them yourself again, well, you're halfway there. Let's explore how Copilot can significantly streamline the process of crafting formulas and functions. Refer to the exercise file 0201 Formulas Functions to follow along. Again, to get started, I'll click inside the table, navigate to the Home tab, and launch Copilot. The first step I'll take is to click the option which allows me to add a formula column. Let's see what we can do here. I'm not loving the status column being entirely in uppercase, so I'll request a column formula to convert it to proper by typing add a column to convert status to proper case. Now here I am given a proper function to create the new column. Again, you may retrieve something different. I will click Explain Formula to learn more. And if you're satisfied with the results, click Insert Column. Let's continue to experiment. The size column indicates measurements in ounces. I aim to convert this to cups. And I'm not sure about the exact conversion rate and wonder if Copilot can help, so I'll make the following request. The size column is in ounces. Could you convert it to cups and label the new column as size cups? Here I'm given another column to insert. You may be asked by Copilot to create the formula yourself or given another approach. So again, be flexible and experiment with the results given to you by Copilot. Let's insert column. And lastly, I want to aggregate data from one of the columns. For example, I wish to determine the average price across all items. By prompting Copilot with something like, what is the average of price? A suggested pivot table emerges. Now here we have the opportunity to add this pivot table to a new sheet. Copilot is telling us it is not able to find the price, but the results were given here. Again, this is a new and somewhat experimental feature of Excel, so make sure to use your best judgment in formulating and evaluating your results here. Let's add to new sheet, and the result is returned as a pivot table. It's worth noting that Copilot often favors pivot tables over standard formulas and functions to deliver results. So again, be flexible and make sure you have your Excel basics down with both formulas and pivot tables. In conclusion, while your days of manually crafting formulas aren't entirely behind you, the process will undergo a transformation. With Copilot, much of the heavy lifting is handled, enabling you to oversee operations akin to a supervisor monitoring an assistant, adept in both formulas and pivot tables. If you've ever wrestled with a stubborn Excel formula or tried customizing a VBA script from a tutorial to suit your needs, you'll understand the hurdles of debugging. Copilot for Excel steps in to alleviate these headaches by suggesting corrections to your formulas and scripts. However, there are times when it's more efficient to start anew rather than modify existing code. Whether you're debugging an old formula or crafting a new one, Copilot is here to guide you, enhancing your Excel skills and ensuring your projects are not only effective, but also streamlined. You can follow this process using the exercise file named Copilot Debug Formulas. In our first example, I'm tackling the task of calculating a running total in the sales column and hitting some snags. I suspect mixed referencing is necessary, but it's proving tricky to implement correctly. Here, I'll have Copilot review my formula and identify the errors. Interestingly, Copilot suggests a novel approach by introducing a new column, which I will add to my worksheet. It doesn't tweak our existing formula, but offers an entirely new one by using structured table references. This is a departure from the alphanumeric references that many users might be used to, but it's vital as Copilot requires data to be formatted as a table. This is why understanding table structuring is so crucial before you dive deep into using Copilot. If you're struggling with a specific formula, like getting an average if function to operate correctly, you can paste that directly into Copilot and ask for help. Sometimes Copilot might suggest writing the formula from scratch, which can lead to unintentionally adding a new column to your table. If it's not what you want, simply copy the result to another part of your workbook. This demonstrates the dual paths available within Copilot, collaborating on new formulas or seeking debugging support for existing ones. Often, beginning refresh is easier, but sharing your current challenges, such as any errors you're facing or goals that you have, can provide Copilot with the insights needed to better assist you. And keep in mind, this is not limited to table calculations or aggregations on a table. The same principles will apply if you need help with VBA macros, for example. The more unique your script, the more direction Copilot might need regarding your specific requirements. In this scenario, I'm going to include the problematic macro, outline the issues, and then see how Copilot can resolve them. And here we have a corrected macro set up for us to use. Whether you're ironing out bugs or starting from scratch, Copilot provides the essential guidance to sharpen your Excel skills and ensure your projects are robust and efficient. Yet remember, while Copilot is a fantastic tool for refining and troubleshooting, sometimes a clean slate is the most straightforward solution.